I am the contrarian, and this is my world. I am the contrarian, and this is my world.
Hi, this is Rahul Gupta and I'm here at The Contrarian. While Raji might have his own opinion on the topic, my point is that innovation has been happening on mobile phones.
Nothing has ever sold 2 billion pieces of anything, and last year, mobile phones sold exactly that number. Here we are, saying it's been the least innovative category in the last many, many years. Well, we put our point forward right now. It's all yours. So you have about a minute.
Right.
It's only 1 minute that you'll ever get in this entire show where I will not contradict you. 1 minute to tell us why you think smartphones are very innovative and continue to be.
Looking at mobile phones, like in 10 years back, they used to be big, bulky, chunky, whatever you can say. Battery backup used to be very little, about 3-4 hours. And now look at the devices which are available today. They are slim, lightweight, have good cameras, have brilliant screens, and 1 or 2 days of battery backup as well. Right. So this is the type of innovation that we are looking at happening on mobile phones and smartphones.
10 years back, right? Mobile phones were used only for voice calls.
Right.
And battery life used to be 2 or 3 days. Today we live in a world where after so much of innovation, battery life for a person like you must be about 6 hours a day. Not more than that. Nobody gets 2 or 3 hour days of battery life for sure. Nobody uses the word standby anymore other than companies, right?
Exactly.
We don't care standby because phones are never on standby.
Right.
Let's talk about everything else. Why do we actually have this contention that smartphones and phones have not really innovated much? The reason is, it's not as if there hasn't been innovation. It's that innovation has not kept up to the kind of level it should. And yet, they are very vulnerable.
Right.
The phones are extremely delicate and very fragile. Why would you accept that for a market that is so mature and is selling 2 billion? Why can't it be absolutely destruction proof?
Right.
Why can't the screen be shatter proof? Why can it not be 100% dust proof and waterproof 10 years back, 5 years back? Why now?
Okay, because first of all, the materials that are being used in the manufacturing of such devices are now available and are available at
I'm sorry, I disagree. Panasonic took out indestructible notebooks about 12 years back. Why could that technology not have been brought into phones from day one?
But the price of that notebook was more than 3 lakh rupees.
Why do we pay for accessories like screen proofing? Why should we do all of it? Why can't it all be built in for a product that is supposed to be the greatest revolution mankind has ever seen?
Okay, coming back to the point that you said that it gets scratched against keys and all. So, type of material that is being used, which is glass. Glass, no matter how thick glass you can put on a mobile phone, it will get scratched. Some or the other.
There has been scratch-proof technology used in robotics as well as in spaceships, again for years. My entire contention comes down to this. I believe it is the greed of companies and not the pace of innovation that has stopped all this from happening.
No, it's not the greed. See, the thing is that, so let me give you an example of Sir Lancelot armor, which is a tempered glass-based screen protector. You know, the cost of that screen protector is about $30-40 odd. Right? Add that to the cost of the device.
But that's not what it will cost a company if they were to take that innovation and put it in there. It would cost them cents or maybe $1. But why as a customer, am I not being afforded that as the politeness for being a loyal customer to companies for years? Why are 2 billion people paying for a phone and not getting that as part of the feature set?
I'm getting a slim and a lightweight device. And if I increase the width or the thickness of the glass on that, it adds to the weight, right? And that somehow is not what the companies are promoting. They are promoting lightweight devices.
Tell me 1 or 2 of the innovations that you believe in a smartphone have been truly revolutionary in the last few years.
Last few years, I'll talk about the innovation that NEC came out with, right? So it was called the quick charge. So they used a 100 ampere charger as opposed to a 1 ampere charger to blast the battery with, literally with electricity and charge it within like 15 minutes to its full capacity. Although, yes, the downside of that is the battery life is decreased considerably.
So the heat is a big problem.
Exactly. The battery heats up and, within like 100 or 200 recharges, the battery is out.
Why should my phone not be dust-proof, waterproof, and everything else proof, including shatter-proof right now?
Number one reason is that anything and everything, doing research and how water damages the internal components and everything costs money. So that is added to the cost of the device itself. But you know what?
Had they started this 10 years back, today we stand at the threshold where 2 or 3 big flagship phones have gone dust and waterproof.
Exactly.
You think this will start coming down to almost every phone now? Now every flagship will have it.
Right.
They have to compete, everyone.
Right. Everybody will
slowly it will come to the 20,000 rupee phones.
Even at lower price point
15,
also.
And especially the people who own the 5 and 7,000, they need it much more than those others. So it will eventually come down.
It has started coming down.
Why could it not have started 10 years back?
It has started coming on to even cheaper devices.
So that means if they had done it 10 years back, so one company had said, we'll spend the money. We want to take care of the people that made us who we are. It could have been in everybody's phone today. Why are we still okay with the kind of materials that are used in phones? Just for the thin and light?
Metal as a material, it requires machining to get that particular contour shape of the device, right? That is the reason why HTC One was being delayed to come in the market. That was a prime reason. Secondly, if you talk about the HTC One M8, the M8 stands for Metal Generation 8. And according to research, the phone has about 20% more metal than the previous generation. So it also requires more amount of machining.
But metal isn't the only material left in the world.
Which is hard
between
enough.
Plastic and metal, there are many on the right and left and the middle. But we
You're talking about carbon fiber and
carbon fibers, polycarbonates of a different kind. We are talking about, look, the chemistry of materials is longer than any mobile phone manufacturer's portfolio.
Agreed.
But they don't want to do it again because of the fact that no company wants to invest that kind of money to bring in new materials. Cameras. Supposedly the greatest revolution that has come about is every one of us has a camera in our pocket and we're using it, right? Where's the button that they could put? Why aren't there optical zooms inside a camera? Why are we still struggling between the first camera phone that came out and today, and all we're doing is playing the megapixel game?
See, optical zoom requires a couple of lens elements, which work on a motorized rail, which increases or decreases your focal length. That's how you get the zoom in that.
Okay, I'm going to do a very, very quick fire with you. Last big super disruptor in the smartphone segment. One that completely blew your mind. Anything.
Fingerprint security on devices.
It blew your mind?
Yeah.
In 1998, there's a laptop that had fingerprint security.
Agreed.
Okay, so that means 16 years later, because they put it in a phone, your mind is blown. How long does your phone battery last?
1.5 days.
How many extra battery backups do you have for that?
None.
Last phone that you owned that you really loved, that you wouldn't, if you felt like not giving it back?
I'll say the Motorola Droid. Although it's like a very old device, but yes, at that time...
I again rest my case. So that means nothing new has made you fall in love with the phone to the level. The Motorola Droid was the last one that you truly loved.
I have a reason for that.
Sure.
So Android, I love a xenon flash. I love a good camera, right? Motorola offered me the same thing, right, at that time. But after that, I didn't see any manufacturer coming up with a xenon flash or something. So Windows came up with that. In terms of innovation, Windows came up with that. But yes, Android people have to catch up with it.
The last time form factor in a phone changed to really get you excited. And please don't say it became 5.4 mm or it had metal at the back or it became really super slim and light.
The LG G Flex with a curved profile.
Okay. What do you do with that curved profile?
So basically, it's easier to use. It's easy on your face. It matches the contour, the natural contour of your face. It makes conversation
my jawline is very accented, so it actually creates a big problem for me. No, I'm just kidding. Do you believe that this innovation circle that we've entered now is more a business model than anything else? Because, from Apple with their iPhone, Samsung with their Samsung Galaxy S series, and everything else, HTC with their One, Motorola, Nexus, everybody. They don't fiddle with too much innovation because they have a base of fans that do not want to be disrupted with something so completely unusual that it will alienate them.
Still, the companies are innovating in their own way. For instance, the HTC One M8 that we are talking about earlier, it had a ultra pixel camera. Now they've come up with a depth sensor in that. So basically, 3D technology had been there. Now they've used it in a positive way, wherein you can actually get the depth in the image.
Every month for the last 10 years, that's 120 months, you should have had at least one disruptor. If I truly count the number of disruptors, You can also count them. There would be about 8 or 10 in the last 10 years. That, I think, is a terrible track record. But thank you very much for being on the show. I truly hope that this conversation between you and me is not about you and me. It's more for all the manufacturers of mobile phones to say, time for us to really get innovative, time for us to take care of our customers, and time to innovate like it's never been done before. Thank you so much. Great to have you on the show. Sure. So if you were listening out there and you're actually a viewer who's a customer, or you're a viewer who actually manufactures these mobile phones, could you just go back tomorrow when you go to office, call a meeting of all your R&D people and say, I saw that guy on Contrarian, that's him, and the Contrarian himself, and we're going to really innovate starting from today. If that happens, we'd be very happy, and this show did serve its purpose. We'll see you next week on the Contrarian. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Great stuff. Thank you.
I am the Contrarian. This is my world.